Hi everyone, my name is Karan Batra and I am from MyWay. So what is an expense ratio? Expense ratio is the annual operating expense of a mutual fund. So putting it in simple words, all the costs associated with running a mutual fund are all added up into your expense ratio. So what are the different components of expense ratio? Broadly, there are three different components. One is management fee, second is administrative cost, and lastly, sales and marketing. So let me explain each of them in detail to you. Management fee. A mutual fund is a professionally run scheme. So you have professionals who actually select the different schemes and there's a lot of research which goes into it. So the fee which is charged by those professionals is categorized as management fee. Second is administrative costs. All the costs associated with the customer support, record keeping, as well as the offices are all categorized under administrative costs. Lastly, sales and distribution costs. The cost associated with marketing, the mutual fund schemes, and also the fee which is paid to the different brokers or distributors is categorized under sales and marketing. So how is an expense ratio calculated? So all expense ratios are regulated by SEBI. Expense ratio as a definition is a percentage of the total assets under management of a mutual fund scheme. Depending on the category of mutual fund, the expense ratio varies. For example, a liquid fund can have an expense ratio of anywhere from 0.01% to 0.1%, whereas for an equity scheme, it could range anywhere from 1% to 2%. Lastly, as the size of the scheme goes up, the expense ratio only comes down. So where do you pay for the expenses of your fund? So as we've understood that the expense ratio is nothing but a summary of all the costs associated with your scheme. Now, you'll be happy to know that you do not need to write out a check to anybody, but the same is calculated on an annual basis, but it is adjusted in the net asset value on a daily basis of your scheme. So which means that at the end of the day, the value of your mutual fund has already taken into account any costs associated related to the fund. To give you an example of how the expense ratio will be calculated, let's assume you've invested 1 lakh rupees in a mutual fund which has an expense ratio of 1.5%. So which means for the entire year, you will end up paying 1,500 rupees, but the same will be adjusted on a daily basis from your net asset value. So approximately that would add up to around 4 or 4.2 rupees on a daily basis.